Hey everyone, welcome back to Football Tac Sensei. I'm Tac Sensei, and today I want to dive deep into Chima Fujita's performance against Hamburg. You probably saw the assist highlight, but I spent some time really analyzing this match, and there's so much tactical detail happening that I think you'll find fascinating. So first, let me set the scene. Hamburg lined up in 3-4-2-1, while St. Pauli used a 3-4-1-2 formation. Both teams committed to back three systems that created some really interesting tactical battles. Joel was playing as a defensive midfielder, and what St. Pauli were doing tactically was really smart. Their main attacking strategy was having one of the defensive midfielders, often Joel, drop to the sideline. By doing this, they could push their wingbacks much higher up the pitch. Then, the center backs would play long balls to these advanced positions, creating numerical advantages on the flanks. This is the first example at 13 minutes. You can see how Joel's movement to the side immediately creates this overload situation. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Throughout the match, St. Pauli kept using this pattern where their central center back would push forward into midfield, essentially taking over the defensive midfielder role. Meanwhile, Joe would move to a higher position, creating space in the center. Look at this 16-minute example. The center back comes forward, Joe moves higher, and this opens up space in the middle. What happens next is that their attacking midfielder drops deep to receive the ball, and then, watch this, their striker makes a run into the space behind. This allows their striker to use the wide areas, and Andréas Hountondji, their number 27, was really impressive throughout the match. He's got great pace and physical ability, and I think this whole tactical system was designed to get the best out of him specifically. Before we continue with the main analysis, I have to show you their corner kick goal because it was such a well-designed set piece. Hamburg's defensive setup was mixed. They had 5 players in a zone in the center, 1 player marking short, and 4 others in man-to-man marking. This meant St. Pauli had several players who weren't being tightly marked, and there was no second line of zonal coverage. St. Pauli's plan was brilliant. They played the corner short, which pulled 2 Hamburg players out of position, the designated short marker plus 1 player coming out from the zone. This created exactly the space they wanted for a low-driven cross. From this angle, you can see how well the St. Pauli players blocked for each other, creating the perfect opportunity for the goal. It's such tactical intelligence in set-piece design. Let me show you how this tactical pattern kept creating chances throughout the match. Here's another example of their 3+2 build-up shape. Joel drops to the side again, and watch what happens to Hamburg's structure. Their winger is torn between staying in position or following Joel. Eventually, their defensive midfielder has to come out to cover Joel. But look, when their defensive midfielder moves, it creates space in behind him and space on his flank. St. Pauli exploited this perfectly. Joel receives the ball, then plays it into the space behind Hamburg's shifted defensive midfielder. And even though this particular attack was ruled offside, you can see how the tactical plan created a clear opportunity for their main striker. This 45th-minute example shows the same pattern again. The central center back moves into defensive midfield position, Joel drops wide, and watch Hamburg's number 24. He's completely confused about who to mark. Should he go to the center back? Should he track Joel? This confusion creates what I call soft pressing, where the defensive team isn't applying real pressure because they're unsure of their assignments. St. Pauli took advantage of this uncertainty, got the ball to Hountondji, and used his pace to create another dangerous situation. Now, let's look at the assist in the 58th minute. By this point, St. Pauli had been using these same patterns for the entire match, and Hamburg were getting increasingly desperate to stop them. Same setup, Joel drops to the side, the center back pushes into midfield. But now Hamburg are trying to press more aggressively. Their wingback forces the issue and presses Joel directly. Watch Joel's composure here. He wins the physical battle first, and yes, this got a lot of media attention, but I want to focus on what happens next. After winning the ball, Joel looks up and scans the field. He sees that Hamburg's defensive midfielders had been pulled apart by all these tactical movements. He could play to their attacking midfielder, but he notices that Hamburg's center back is tight on that player. Instead, he sees that Hountondji, the same player who had been creating problems all game, has space to run into. The through ball is perfectly weighted, and by this point, Hamburg's defenders were so tired of dealing with this same tactical pattern that they tried to catch Hountondji offside. But the timing was perfect, and Pauli got their second goal. From this angle, you can really see Joel's field awareness. The physical duel gets attention, but it's his positional intelligence and passing decision that created the goal for Hountondji. What I found really impressive about this performance is how consistently Pauli executed their tactical plan. They identified that Hountondji had a physical advantage over Hamburg's defenders, and they built their entire attacking system around creating opportunities for him. Joel's role was crucial. By dropping wide, he consistently disrupted Hamburg's defensive structure and created the space for their main attacking threat. It's not flashy football, but it's really intelligent tactical play. Hamburg could see what was happening, but they couldn't find a good solution. That's the sign of a really well-designed tactical system. So that's the deeper story behind Joel's assist to set up the goal. It wasn't just a moment of individual brilliance. It was the result of 58 minutes of systematic tactical pressure that finally broke Hamburg's resistance. For the next video, I'm thinking we could analyze more examples of how tactical persistence can break down defensive systems, or maybe look at other Japanese players adapting to European tactical demands. Let me know what interests you. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed this detailed breakdown, and remember, the best stories in football often happen in the details that don't make the highlights.